Rouge, Radion, the bus stop chicane. Iconic turn names and an iconic circuit. History lives here at Spa-Francorchamps at the Belgium Grand Prix. Spa-Francorchamps then, a historic 19-corner circuit with a lap distance of 4.35 miles. There's over 100 metres of elevation change here, and with long stretches of the lap spent flat out, a good top speed will be vital for success. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Sainz, Stroll, Oscar Piastri, Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, Perez, the owner driver, Norris, Gasly, Magnussen, Ocon, Joe, Sargent, Ricciardo, Bottas, Button, Albon, Tsunoda, and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. Ant, it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the run down into turn 1.
Definitely feeling something. Hello there everybody, and welcome back to my F1 23 Equal Car Championship. This is round 6 out of 13. This is Spa, and this is the feature race. Right, let's have a look at the strategy, because I want to try something different here. I want to do the medium stint in the middle of the race and run that one a bit longer and go for the soft stint at the end. So we're just changing the strategy around a little bit here, but it's going to be a 2-stop here at Spa. But I want to go soft, medium, soft, because I want to be fast at the end, but also I want to be able to attack early on. That's the plan here. We're starting in P10. The sprint wasn't as strong as some of the sprints we've had, but let's get this 44-lap Belgian Grand Prix underway. Now! Decent start. I'll tell you what, Perez didn't get away well, but look at this. There's a nice little gap opening itself up to us on the inside. Are we going to take it? Yes, we are. That moves us up into P8. We're alongside Charles Leclerc. Piastri's got a good start, and we're being squeezed by the Monegasque in the Ferrari. And at Eau Rouge, Fernando Alonso is having a look. And that's really not worked out for us. The second phase of the start has gone a bit wrong. Perez getting back past. That is such a shame. We got away well and had game places, but we got squeezed by Leclerc and re-lost them, but we're able to retake Sergio Perez and move up into 9th place, so we have gained a place. Charles Leclerc attacking Piastri. I'm looking at attacking Alonso around the outside here. It's a long race, but we're going all out in such an early stage. Alonso, no way through there, and I'm just going to make sure that Perez doesn't try anything too. Wow, it's all action at the beginning of on this first lap of this Belgian Grand Prix, and we have moved up a place. But now they're going to target Fernando Alonso and see how much further we can move up. Alonso looking a bit wobbly there, so we might be able to take advantage of that as we come round Stavelot for the first time to head towards Blanchimont and end this first lap. And look at the run we're getting on Alonso, which is getting ever closer. And I just wonder, maybe not in Blanchimont, but afterwards, is there a way through? I think there is. We're on Fernando Alonso's outside, and I think he's going to try and squeeze us here. And Alonso just about able to keep it. We did have a look to the outside, but now we're going to have a look to the outside again of La Source, because down the straight we were able to get off the corner better and I'm trying not to hit Piastri. Alonso still there, and we go side by side. We carry on side by side, but we have gained the place this time on Fernando Alonso. Moving up to P8, and now we're right behind Oscar Piastri, going up the hill and going up the Kemmel Straight. And you know what? We got to run on Oscar too. Down the inside, he's not going to be able to fight this one off. He doesn't fight it off, and we're up into 7th. That was a great move there. We had 2 for the price of 1. Next up, we've got Lance Stroll and Charles Leclerc. Predictably then, looking at the mini-map, it looks very clear to see that Max Verstappen is checking out already. So Verstappen already driving off into the distance ahead of the 2 Mercedes, and I can't see who's in 4th. I can't see who that is. I think that might be Sainz in 4th. And then it's Stroll, Leclerc, myself and Piastri. Now Piastri has gained through Sector 2, but we established in the sprint, when I did the sprint, and that was uploaded a couple of days ago, but we established there that I'm not so strong out of Sector 2 and through Sector 2, and it's Sector 1 that I really make the difference in, and Sector 3. So that's something to make a note of moving forwards. Verstappen sets the fastest lap of the race, and I pretty much matched that. Gonna have a look at Leclerc there, but that's not gonna happen. Leclerc has got a pretty good line coming out of there, but we might have a go around the outside of Eau Rouge. Are we gonna try Eau Rouge? I think we might. Leclerc's trying to squeeze me. I'm going around the outside, nothing to lose. Oh dear, we've hit Leclerc. No, we've hit him. That's not worked. And in fact, we've now got underbody damage as a result of that. That was silly, but we're now going around the outside, sweeping round up into 6th place, and I think we may have done some damage to Leclerc there. Oh, we're in the gravel! We're in the gravel and Leclerc's got back past. Oh dear, this is not going well, is it? We've done damage to ourselves, and I don't know if Leclerc is damaged, if he's limping, but that's not helped us. Pushing too hard, trying to close up the gap that Max is already creating, and that's helping even less. So, oh, this is chaos. It's only lap 3. How are we going to hold on to this for 42 more laps? I don't know, but at the moment Leclerc is once again driving away, so that would back up a theory that he has not really taken damage from that collision at Eau Rouge, whereas I have. So, and basically what the underbody damage does is that it makes the car a little more unstable on the floor, especially going through faster corners. Right, end of lap 3 now. You wouldn't believe it's the end of lap 3 with everything that's been going on. Verstappen sets the fastest lap of the race again, as if to say, forget about it, I have you covered. But at the moment we're now trying to get back after Charles Leclerc, who now will have dropped outside of DRS. That means an opportunity is going to present itself up the Kemmel Straight when we get there. Round Eau Rouge we go. And this should be a bit of a slam dunk, done deal overtake. We're down the inside, and then, well, Leclerc can't do anything about that. As we move ourselves up into P5, P6, and next up on our agenda is Lance Stroll, who's having a strong start so far. His pace is looking pretty good at this stage of the race, but obviously it's a long race. Anybody can look good at the beginning of a race, but then fall off a bit later. At the moment, we're looking alright. We're in P6, we've gained places. Okay, we've got a bit of underbody damage, but right now we can live with that. Chasing down Stroll, P5. And we are making way pretty quickly as well, because we're already looking at getting into the top 5. It may get more difficult to move forwards from there, as obviously we've then got 2 Mercedes and a Ferrari, but they're having their own battle, so we might be able to capitalise on that, and then maybe, just maybe, put some pressure on Max Verstappen. First things first, let's get close to the rear of this Aston Martin. I think we're about to beat the fastest lap as well. No, we don't, but we're a 10th off of it. And the way through here is not going to be into the source, but rather set it up perfectly and try and get him on the Kemmel straight, although there might be a way through in Eau Rouge, and I'm definitely going to have a little look. But Stroll, wow, Stroll had that covered, didn't he? And he was very clear that it was either going to be I seed position or we have a horrible crash. So I decided to seed, but we're going to go round the outside of Les Combes, and that's P5. That is P5. Stroll is demoted a place, and now we can get after the 2 Mercedes and the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz. So plenty of progress made in this early stage. Don't forget we started 10th, so we're up a few positions here, but now we're heading after some of our rivals, and I'm thinking alternative strategy here. I am thinking alternative strategy, because we are on a 2-stop, but I just wonder, because the pit lane here is quite short, I wonder would a 3-stop give us more pace and work better? I don't know. I'm currently doing a 2-stop and following what the rest of the pack are doing. At the moment I'm in P5 trying to catch up to the 2 Mercedes and Carlos Sainz. Sainz being in P4, he's having quite a strong race. And then we've got Stroll and Leclerc right behind us. 5, 6, 7. So Stroll's actually going to have DRS on me here, which is a little bit frustrating. And the guys in front are going to have DRS. So they're going to just be getting away from me a little bit up the hill. I'm going to be honest, things are probably going to be a bit static now for a few laps as the race starts to settle down. We've had plenty of action in this early stage while I've made my way forwards, but now it's time to settle into a rhythm and just settle into this race a bit. We've got the 2 Mercedes fighting it out in front, and that could bring us into play, but for now I'm just doing my own thing and trying to break away from Lance Stroll behind me if we've got the pace. I think Hamilton has had a go at Russell for second and it's not worked out, and now the pair of them I'm getting close to the pair of them, so they're all fighting, but of course that fighting is helping Verstappen eke out his advantage out front. So far it appears to be Verstappen with the advantage, and he's just doing what Verstappen is just doing what Verstappen does, and that is driving into the distance and leaving everybody in his wake. I'll tell you what, Stroll and Leclerc, I am not getting shot of them. I don't know what it is, but they are sticking to me like glue here. And I just wonder how much pace is in those cars, because like I said, they're sticking with me. I'm not getting away from them, but I feel it'll be a different story when, of course, we get up the hill. But yeah, Stroll is staying within half a second. I'm not getting away from him, but I am closing on the guys in second. So I just wonder, is this going to become a massive DRS train that forms for a while here? I know this is one of the tracks that the AI struggle to overtake each other on, and it just ends up being a long train. We're on lap 7, so we can afford to bide our time a little bit and maybe make our charge later into the race. Like I said, for now this is the stage to just settle in and manage things, and the 2 Mercedes are definitely fighting each other again at this stage. So understeer around there isn't going to help anything, but we are just about approaching the DRS range of the cars in front, so that'll help us. but I think Sainz is going to have enough pace in this sector to just try and drive away a little bit. But I'm trying to save using overtake as much as possible. Did I see a yellow flag there? I'm not sure, but we're having a look at an alternative strategy. So I'm probably going to pit a little bit earlier, but still take the mediums. And I'm just wondering, strategy-wise, what is best moving forward. And I'm thinking I'm going to try a free stop here, because I'm not liking the feel of these tyres, and I've not really been on them long. And I tell you what, Lance Stroll is having a go. Stroll is hedging his bets here. Is he going to try and have a go at the end of the lap? I'm going to cover. He's having to go around the outside, is Lance. He's got the space. Oh, and he's hit me. I've been tagged by Stroll, and I've got more damage done to the car. Leclerc is now coming out after me, and Leclerc is through into the source. I try not to hit him, but we're going to go up the hill. I tried to give Stroll a bit of space there, but we're now going up the hill. My damage now increasing because of the impact with Stroll. But we've got DRS here, and I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to pit this lap because I'm not liking these tyres as much as I liked the first set. I'm just not gelling with the... Well, this is the first set, but I'm not gelling with them at this stage of the race, I'll be honest. And I don't know how much the damage is affecting me at this stage, but I can imagine it's having quite an effect. We've had two minor collisions in this race, but both of which have caused damage. So I don't know if it's worth trying to stretch the stint out, as it were, and just see what's going on. But for sure, we are now slower than once we were, and I don't know how much of that is tyres and how much of that is damage. We've gone deep there, and Leclerc is going to have a look around the outside. I've given him the room, and he's got past. I went in way too tight there, but Charles Leclerc now up to 5th, and Stroll is now losing time, so he's obviously taken damage. I think I'm going to pit this lap because I don't think these tyres are lasting well for me here. And this is just reminding me too much of Qatar, so we're going to pit this lap. I've got Leclerc on the outside. I'm going to try and make... Leclerc! Okay, we're not going to pit this lap because Leclerc, for whatever reason, blocking the pit lane. I'm trying to get in to the pits, and... Well, that did not work for me at all. I was hoping that I could get Leclerc out the way. That's not been the case. And now we're battling Piastri. We're going alongside him into Eau Rouge. Oh my God, is this going to work? Yes, it does! We steal the place from Piastri. Now we're going to steal a place from Fernando Alonso. And we're going to go around the outside. I don't know why I went for the pass from Leclerc, but I really thought I could do it and then get round him into the pits. But Leclerc not making it easy to do that. And I'm now being told that the underbody damage is critical. So, oh, that's not going to help it either. And we're stuck behind Stroll. I need to get past Lance here because this is holding me up. I'm going to try going down the inside here. You don't normally see moves done around the inside there, but we've made it work. And I think Alonso is also going past him. But look at that, we've lost 8.5 seconds battling these cars. So I'm going to pit him for a fresh set of mediums, get my medium run out the way, and then we're going to go attacking on softs. But I definitely think 3 stops now is the way to go, just looking at how much tyre wear I have. So into the pits we are now going to peel off. And I do not like that pit entrance one bit. In we go then. Mechanics are waiting for us. Off come the old tyres, on go the new tyres, and now we are ready to go racing.
We're happy with that one. Okay, one stop to go, just one stop left in
I wouldn't mind a red flag in this race, because then we might be able to fix some of the damage that we have to the side pod and the underbody. That's going to affect us for the rest of the Grand Prix now, but look at the pace advantage we have on Hulkenberg. Straight away I'm feeling better on this set of tyres. How long do I take them then is the question. I'm thinking lap 25 or lap 24 and then do 2 sets of 10 lap runs. So that's what we're going to do at the moment. We're going to try and gain places, and one of the first places we're up to is Lando Norris. We have got a yellow flag up ahead, and that's going to be heading into Pumong as we get past Lando Norris. Before it, thankfully, but there is a yellow flag. I wonder, has somebody gone round? I'm not sure. What are we encountering here? We've got a slow-moving Bottas, and I've been caught out by that and gone deep. But Bottas is out of the race. So the Belgian Grand Prix claims its first victim of Valtteri Bottas. That 10 of 34, and we're now trying to make our way forward on an alternative strategy. So it is going to be a bit of a tough day, but we're going to try and make this work. And we do have damage, so the most that we can make up on the fresh tyres is what we're going to try and do. This is going to be a long race, especially knowing we've got the damage we have. I mean, look at that, that's red. Knowing we have that level of damage, that just makes it a very long race for us. So early mistakes have definitely been made, that's for sure. As we now try and close in on Logan Sargent ahead of us. Oh, so this just shows how much the underbody is affecting us, because we're understeering into corners that we wouldn't necessarily be understeering into. So it provides a lot less grip, but we're right up to Logan Sargent now. And hopefully this should be a relatively straightforward pass. But this is not the part of circuit that you want to be behind someone. As we look for a way to try and get past the Williams. Not in Stablo, but I think out of Stablo we might be able to do this. Here we go. We're just going to go around on the right hand side of the circuit here. Sargent sticking to the inside. This is a brave one. You don't see this happen often enough, but we've done it round the outside of Blanchimont, and we have passed Logan Sargent and moved up a position. And now we're approaching the train that I think Lance Stroll, with his damage, is leaving behind. Logan Sargent then straight into the pits, and I wonder if he's thinking if he gets a fresh set of tyres, he might be able to undercut this lot. It's an interesting thought process. So we haven't set a PB, but again we are nursing damage. And I just wonder, what are we going to be able to salvage from this race? I'm hoping some good points, at the very least. But we'll see how it works out. It's only lap 12 at the moment, and it's a 44 lap race. And we won the first 2 races of the season, but we haven't had a race win since then. The closest we came was last time out in Qatar, where we got... No, last time out in Abu Dhabi, sorry, where we got P2. We didn't score anything in Qatar. That race was horrible, and we don't... I would kindly not like to be reminded of it, but anyway. Bringing ourselves closer to Albon now, who is trailing Tsunoda and Magnussen, and you can see the Stroll train now as it rolls along. hoping that we didn't stop too early and that we're going to really struggle keeping people behind at this stage. Look at the battle going on up ahead though. I wonder if we can make a little bit of a cheeky dive here and take a couple of them. Okay, we're going to take 2 of them. Maybe even 3. Nope, we're off the circuit. But Magnussen, we got Tsunoda and Albon, and we're going to try and catch Kevin Magnussen napping here. So that's another place. Next up is our teammate Jenson Button. And then you got Ricciardo in 12th. And we may be able to get a couple of them up this run. Now getting ready to have a go at Jenson Button. Going up the Kemmel Straight. I know there's a battle going on ahead. I'm trying not to focus on that. I'm just trying to focus on my teammate. And we've got ahead of my teammate now. And we're up in position. And Ricciardo's being backed up by Stroll. We're going to have Ricciardo there. And I wonder if we can take Stroll around the outside here. Because he's just not going to have any momentum. And we dance around the outside of Lance. Up into P11. That was pretty smooth to say the least. That was a smooth operator. Right, Stroll is now battling Button. I think Ricciardo's lost out. And Button is now having to go at Stroll, who had the collision with us. And since Stroll had the collision with us, he's just been going downhill. So it's a bit of a nightmare race for Lance. We're having a bit of a mare of it too, down in P11. But of course, we've made our pit stop. A lot of these haven't. I'm not sure how this is all going to work out in this Grand Prix with as long as we have left in it. I think we're going to catch Ocon napping here for 10th. And that's a nice little move. And would you know it, the rest of the pack pit in. And is this going to be a new personal best? No, it isn't, but it's a 49.5. Out comes Hamilton then from his pit stop. He's going to be right behind Perez. And, well, we haven't gained as much on him as we'd like. But we have gained for now. So we're on lap 14 now, out of 44. Got a bit of a longer stint here, but I'm also watching my fuel because, again, it's dropping at a rate I'm not liking. And I'm just worried about having to lift and coast. I'll tell you what, we've run a little bit quicker than Hamilton has, so I don't know if Hamilton's got a problem. Oh no, he's gained 3 tenths in that corner, never mind. But now he's stuck behind Sergio Perez. That's going to hold him back a bit. This is going to be quite a difficult race to get back into, I'm not going to lie, because we are already so far out of it. So it's not going to be easy to get ourselves back into play here, as we've been out of play for a while. And we are out of sync with the rest of the pack, as they make their first pit stops of the day. But I tell you what, Carlos Sainz is here for the taking. Carlos Sainz is right for the taking. And are we going to get him going up the Kemmel Straight? Rondo Rouge. Sainz seems a little wobbly, and I tell you what, we might be able to take P4 from him here. We are taking P4 from him here. And Carlos Sainz having to accept that one for now. And it's P4 for us. But we are on old mediums. They're on fresh softs. So Sainz is going to be super quick to try and come back at us. And we may find it just a little bit difficult to keep him behind from here. but I'm certainly going to try to keep him there. Sainz is right behind me. He's trying to have a look one way then the other. And unfortunately this is ruining his day, because he would have had intentions on the two Mercedes, which are now being wasted, stuck behind me. I'm just starting to question whether this strategy is actually working out at all. Sainz coming at me then. Is he going to try and go round the outside? Yes, he is. Are we going to go round the outside of Blanchard? Yes, he is. But he doesn't make that work. And we're able to hold on as Verstappen, well, Verstappen's just doing his own thing, isn't he? He's in no man's land. We're in P4, trying to keep behind this Ferrari.
Gap to your teammate behind is 25.9 seconds.
And we're on slightly used tyres. Whereas Sainz is fresh and is medium, and he could come straight at us. He's not managed to stay close enough going up the hill, going up the Camel Straight, so we are keeping the place on Sainz for now. And it's just a matter of what are the two Mercedes doing, and what are they going to continue to do here. Doing everything we can to keep Sainz behind us, but it's not proving easy. In fact, it's proving quite difficult, because the Ferrari is super quick at this stage, whereas we just are not, and we're losing time. Sainz is going to try and go around the outside again, not having any of that, closing that one down. Into another lap. It's lap 17 and Sainz is right behind us. The two Mercedes driving away, but everyone behind me is catching me, because these tyres are older tyres. I'm going to try and hold on till 24, where I'm going to do 2 sets of 10 lap stints and hope that will bring me some points. The two Mercedes are fighting away out in front of me, and Sainz is having a go. I wasn't expecting that, but I've parked my car in the right place there, and Sainz just not able to get past us at this stage. But it's almost a futile effort, really, isn't it? With just how much more grip he has in comparison to us. It really does just make this attempt look futile. And I'll be honest, since we've taken damage, the pace really just doesn't exist as Sainz goes for the inside. Oh, he's got past us now. But the pace just does not exist. I wonder if the damage is just compromising that, or whether it is just the old set of tyres, but there just doesn't seem to be that much pace in this car at the moment. I want to try and find some if we can. And I tell you what, we're coming back at Carlos Sainz pretty handily here, and we may even be able to have a retake on him up the Kemmel Straight. For now, it's the end of another lap, and we're just rethinking this one. Sainz will pull out a couple of attempts here, but guarantee you we can pull this back and try again up the Kemmel Straight.
So go and have a look. Okay, copy that.
See, it's now telling me to come in on lap 23. I think I may have to here. I just don't have that kind of pace or grip. But now we're approaching signs. We've got DRS, but unfortunately we haven't got the overtake. What the hell, I'm going to try and dive down the inside. No, that's not worked, and we've damaged the front wing. And that, oh, that was reckless. I really had to try it, too, otherwise we were just going to lose the time. And that, oh, now I've got damage. That was silly. That was silly. But now I'm thinking, okay, can I manage hards to the end? Is that a strategy that's viable? Going hard, we are going to have to repair the front wing. That was silly. I really thought we'd be close enough to take a dive, but it's just turned out that we were not close enough, and we're pitting. So I'm going to try and take the hard tyres that we're putting on to the end. That was a disappointing attempt at an overtake, which really amounted to nothing. And does Sainz pit? No, he doesn't, but we do. Having to change a front wing that we've now damaged even more, crashing into the pits. So, old tyres off and new tyres on with a new front wing. These are not mistakes I've wanted to make here this race. It happens. You get races like this from time to time. It happens.
Okay, go, go, go. That was a fantastic stop. Faster than we were expecting. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Alright, we're back out of the pits and Jenson Button's having a go. I'm not letting him take us here. Right, hard tyres to the end. It's lap 19 out of 44. I think they'll go, but I think they're going to be very worse for wear at the end. So this is how we limit the damage now, is we take on hards and hope that they'll last. I do wonder if we will get a late safety car or not, which may help me out, but other than that, well, it's disappointing to say the least. But now it becomes a case of, right, what can we do? What can we recover? This just shows how shoddy this tyre is. We're not even catching Albon in this sector. Such is how the hard tyre is. We're struggling to catch Albon, even on fresh tyres. So that's a little insight from what the hard tyre is like to drive. As we approach the halfway stage of a race that's been full of mistakes for myself here. It's not been a race that I want to drive at all, but it's happened, and now we've got to try and make the best of it and recover. So this battle is for 11th, and it's headed by Sargent, with Albon in 12th, Ware in 13th. And I think we're going to get a bit of DRS on these two. And I wonder if Albon going to try and take his teammate. I think Albon's going for it, but I think we're too far back. Yet there goes Albon then, having a go at Logan Sargent for 11th. We've set a purple first sector, as Albon has got past Logan Sargent, and we should be able to follow him through here. Sargent defending. So we're going to go round the outside, and we have danced round the outside of the American driver and made our way up into P12. I made it look so easy, but it really wasn't. Well, we're staying within Albon's DRS here. And that's because we absolutely have to if we're going to get past him and start making our way back towards the point. Lap 20 out of 44. If anyone's watching, please do make yourselves known in the chat. I don't bite, well, only if you want me to. Sorry, Tash. But yeah, make yourselves known. It's been a very mistake-filled Grand Prix, this one. But we're only halfway through it. There's still half the race to go. And I'm getting ready to have a go at Ocon. And we've finally set a new PB, so that's something at least. And now we're getting ready to attack Albon. And I wonder, is the move on into Eau Rouge? I think it might be. Albon fights me off, but again, we just sweep round the outside. And I refuse to allow Ocon to bully me into backing off. Hey, says Tash, what's up? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to drop me a like as I've just passed Albon. And I'm now heading up the road to try and get after Piastri and Ocon, who I believe are having their own little scrap for P8 at this moment in time. We're driving forwards. It's all about keeping our head down and keeping positive at this stage. Yes, it's been a race full of mistakes. Yes, we've badly judged quite a lot of things, but you learn from it. And not just that, but
okay, gap ahead is 7.0 seconds.
but you can't have the good days without the bad too, so that's another given as we now enter the bus stop, and the two cars battling ahead are several seconds ahead. We have had one retirement from this race. That is Valtteri Bottas, and he retired quite early on. And Albon is staying with me, so Albon, we're not dropping him, which is a little bit worrying at this stage in regards to my pace. Just having a look back there. But I'm not dropping him quite as quickly as I want to be. Our pace round here, obviously compromised because we have underbody damage. That means that our pace isn't at its optimum. And I think it's just a case of making do with whatever we can salvage here. That's certainly my plan at the moment, as we are now on lap 22, closing in on Ocon and Piastri, the two cars that are battling ahead, the Papaya McLaren and the Alpine. Now this would be a great time for a red flag, but then I'd have to try and do another 2 stops, so at the moment I just want to see if I can get this to the end. We are going to have to do some management though, perhaps a bit later into the Grand Prix. Just looking at that fuel load.
Is 6.3 seconds. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 3.0 seconds.
Lap 23 out of 44. We've just got under half the race to go now. The first half, like I said, I've made a few mistakes and I'm now currently down. Well, I'm where I started this race actually. Well, one place behind that. One more place gained and I'm in the points. I'm trying to make these hard tyres last until the end of the Grand Prix. Obviously safety car pending and whatnot. But at the moment, that appears to be the strategy. But whatever tyres I'm on, I'll say this much. They don't seem to last very long. And my pace just isn't what I would have expected it to be round here. I've really not had the pace that I hoped for. And again, car damage has made me put pace to that. But it is what it is. And now recovery is the aim of the game here. Just grab whatever points I can and move on to the next one. We've got 20 laps though, so let's try and make the best of those laps. Oh, kiss that barrier. Don't want to get that close to that wall that often. As they're now closing on Piastri and Ocon. I don't know if they're still battling or not. I keep going deep at that corner. I cannot get that line right at all. I'm really struggling round here. Really struggling. This has not been my race. Like Albon, if anything, now is starting to claw back on me a bit, and already I'm just starting to struggle for pace. I know there's been a couple of moments I've been deep, but in relation to the others, look at that, 49.6. That is not the pace to have around here. I just don't know what more I can do at this stage. I'm already pushing for as much as I can. Within reason, obviously, but it just... the grip isn't there because of the damage and the pace just isn't there. It's going to be a long run to the finish. And that just highlights my point about grip. It just isn't there with the damage we have. I really hope we get a red flag. I can't deal with this for another 20 laps. I've actually pulled out a little bit from Albon there, so he pulled out about a 10th, but he's going to gain it right back round here. We dip a wheel on the grass. We're about the same distance behind Piastri and Ocon that we were on the last lap, so we're not really losing anything, but we're not really gaining it at this stage.
Gap to your teammate behind is 3.9 seconds.
So it's all a little bit lonely out here. But I think Piastri and Ocon are battling again. I've just seen their places swapping, so I can actually see it on the map now. Piastri has re-gotten ahead of Ocon and moved himself into 9th, so the Australian driver is going nicely here and looking for points. I'm also looking for points, but it might be harder to obtain especially seeing what my pace could be like when everybody else is pitted. Right now it's lap 26. I'm nearly getting it sideways out of there. That's not one of the parts of the circuit you want to lose it and have a crash at. Right, does anyone pit in this lap? That's what I want to know. Has anybody decided to get rid of their tyres and get something with a bit more speed to it? I would say no at this point. No one else has pitted. And we're now trying to push to gain on Ocon and Piastri. And we're a little sideways out of the bus stop there, which I think may have killed off some of our momentum. I think Ocon and Piastri may start battling again, but what's grabbed me at the moment is just the fact that Alex Albon has stayed within 2.5 seconds of us, so he's clearly enjoying the car at that pace for whatever reason. I'm just not enjoying this at this pace, but I feel like it's going to be enough to bring us into the points, provided of course we don't stop again. We have gained more on Piastri and Ocon this time round though, and we have actually started to build a little bit of a gap away from Albon now. We have gained a few tenths on either side this lap, which is good. That's what we need to be doing. Into another lap then, just 17 to go. So we are starting to approach the closing stages of this race. And I'm also approaching Ocon and Piastri for an extra position. But they're going to stop again. I'm not planning on it. I might do, but I might not stop again. I don't know yet. But Piastri and Ocon, look at them, they're swapping places. Once again, they've been doing that all afternoon, and they've done it one more time with Ocon getting his way ahead of the McLaren and moving back into P9. And I'm just seeing, is there a way for us to do the same? But that line round there is not going to help us. That's the third time this Grand Prix that's the line I've taken. And that just shows how uncomfortable I am driving this car at the moment. If you've just joined me, the car is damaged because we've had a couple of collisions. I've got underbody and side pod damage, so it's affecting drag, but it's also affecting the way the car is coming off of the corners, as well as cornering grip. So it's just a matter of trying to find grip when very little of it exists. Lap 28 out of 44 complete. Gasly in the pits then. Are we going to emerge ahead of him? This is going to be touch and go, but I think we are going to be ahead of the French driver. We are ahead of the French driver. Gasly losing out the place. We're now P10, but Gasly might come straight after us up the Kemmel Straight. I don't know how to hold Gasly back, but we're doing it. I'm just going to park the car in the middle of the circuit and Gasly having to wait another lap as his teammate battles with a McLaren. And unfortunately Pierre is just going to have to wait his turn. Oh, that was easy. That was easy. Curse of the commentator much. Trying to stay with Gasly and maybe get some DRS on him on the next lap, but no, Gasly is gone and he's now catching up to Ocon and Piastri and that little man. No sign of a yellow flag or a safety car yet, but we have got Ocon into the pits, Gasly staying out. There will be more cars in. There's the two Mercedes coming out. So we're behind the two Mercedes and we're still in the top 10. Ocon pits though, and I think Button also pitted. And Albon is still only 3 seconds behind us, so Albon really making the most of this one here. And we've not really made massive inroads to Piastri, which really says a lot about this tyre and its capabilities. Or should I say here in lack of. Piastri's now got ahead of Ocon. No, he hasn't. Piastri is still ahead of Gasly, and Gasly is tucked up behind the Australian. And this is what will hold him up just a little bit. And I'm hoping it holds him up by enough so that we can try and catch Pierre and gain an extra position in this race. But I think it's a little bit futile. I think the best thing we can do now is maintain position, hold the line, hold the circuit. Is Piastri going to pit? No, but Gasly stays out, and Gasly has got past Piastri. We're not really catching him, but Albon's gaining on us, and I'm just wondering, is that a sign to just make one more pit stop in this race and just try and have full beans pace toward the end? Maybe so. But we do have a lift and coast warning here, and that we're going to have to start doing that as soon as possible for a few laps, just to allow ourselves
here's the gap that we're trailing the
a way to get to the end of the race.
8 seconds.
Look how much clearer Gasly has got on me this lap alone. Gasly definitely has got a good bit of pace in that Alpine, and more it's making me think, you know what, a final stretch on softs wouldn't be too bad an idea. I just don't want to lose position. bit deep there. Look, Albon's catching us, so I think I will pit in and take on a fresh set of tyres to run to the end. Because clearly these aren't working anymore. These hard tyres have had enough. They've been worked for half the race. And it's just not working, so we are going to pit in, I think, and take on a final set of softs just to see us through to the end. I know Piastri is 3.5 ahead of us, and I'm trying to bring that gap down. Bloody hell, I weren't concentrating there. I think this is time though to pit in and take a final set of softs. Leclerc is in, as is Perez, so I'm going to pit in myself. And oh no, we're not! Wow, that's crashing in the pit, and that is us out! We are out of the race, having tried to pit in, and that's race over. That is race over. A day full of mistakes, and, well, a day full of mistakes ends in the pit lane barrier as we were pitting in for the closing stage of the race, and that is us out. That is us out of the Belgian Grand Prix, and we score no points, and it's a second race that we haven't made it to the end. I mean, that was coming, wasn't it?
What a great race then, and a magnificent victory here at the Belgian Grand Prix. Well, Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today, but what set them apart from the rest?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
Well, that's it then. Too many mistakes, and one massively costly one at the end that took us out of the race. But there's your final result. It is a win for Max Verstappen. George Russell and Lewis Hamilton get second and third in the end, so it's a double podium for Mercedes. Alonso brings home fourth. Leclerc bringing home another decent points haul in fifth. Then it's Perez, Sainz, Ocon, Piastri and Jenson Button that are your top 10. Well, mistakes that were made today means that Max Verstappen now takes the lead in the Drivers' Championship, and that puts Lewis Hamilton in second place. Lewis Hamilton 4 points behind in second. We're third, 12 points behind Max, with it all to do ahead of us. Russell in fourth, keeping up an impressive run of consistency. Lando Norris in fifth, Piastri in sixth. Then it's Alonso moving up to seventh after a difficult start to the season. But Alonso's bringing home regular points here. Then it's Sainz, Perez, Leclerc, Stroll, Gasly, Button, Albon. I can't use below Albon at this moment. Then it's Tsunoda, Ocon and Magnussen, your final point scorers. And in the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes is still leading Red Bull, McLaren are third, We're fourth, Ferrari are fifth, Aston Martin is sixth, and then it's Alpine, Williams, AlphaTauri and Haas with Alfa Romeo yet to score. But that, I'm afraid to say, was our race over. Did anybody else retire in the end? It was us, and then it was Pierre Gasly. That's not how we wanted the race to end, but we're gonna look ahead, put it behind us, move forward to the next one. We'll see what the next one is, and the next one is actually going to be the home race. So Silverstone is the destination for the next one. But until then, it is goodbye from me. Thank you for watching. TTFN, ta-ta for now. Take care. See you soon.